Parents, you know that blue form is extremely important, especially if you're trying to get your child enrolled in school or daycare. But what happens if you miss a vaccination? Joining me this morning is TV personality and neonatologist Dr. Jennifer Arnold. Thanks so much for being here. Why is vaccination such an important issue to you?
Vaccinations are near and dear to my heart for two very important reasons. First and foremost, I'm a mom, and so I have two children, and like any parent, it's my goal and priority to help protect them and keep them as healthy as possible. And second, as a neonatologist, a pediatrician, I unfortunately have seen the consequences of these diseases in very vulnerable young children and infants, and it's important to me to raise awareness so that all parents are armed with the facts that they need to help protect their child to the best of their ability.
You know, there are some parents who like to hold off on vaccinating their child until they're at least, say, a year old. Your thoughts on that?
Sure. So, one of the common questions I often get asked is from parents, can I delay or spread out vaccinations? The thing that I find is very important to help educate parents who, just like myself, want what's best for their children is that while it's important to vaccinate, it's even more important to vaccinate on time per the CDC's recommended schedule. And that's because a baby's immune system is still developing. And by giving the vaccinations at the right time, at the right frequency, we know that that vaccination has the best chance of actually boosting a growing and developing child's immune system to promote and develop antibodies that are actually the key fighters against infection.
Why is it that certain vaccinations have multiple doses, and what happens if you do miss a dose?
That's a fantastic question. So many of our vaccines are required in multiple doses, and that's because we have found, through research and lots of rigorous study, that those are the doses recommended for a growing and immature immune system to be able to develop those very important antibodies that I mentioned before. A baby's immune system is still developing, just like everything else. Many parents are familiar with the fact that a baby walks or talks and develops motor and language skills on a timeline. Well, the immune system is not much different, and so it's important to get the number of doses of a particular vaccine in order for it to work the best and help protect children and infants when they're most vulnerable. If a parent, or a child were to miss a vaccine, I think it's important to try and get back on track as soon as possible, but don't panic. Talk to your pediatrician, call them as soon as possible, reschedule that appointment and get that vaccine, and come up with a plan with your pediatrician to get your child back on the CDC's recommended schedule of vaccinations.
Well, in addition to being a doctor, you of course also star in the docudrama The Little Couple. How's the show going?
Oh, the show is going great, and I am so fortunate that, we've had such a long-standing opportunity to raise awareness. We started off just raising awareness about having a disability, having sclerosplasias, and now we have had the opportunity to raise awareness about things we never expected, adoption, cancer, and things that are so important to pediatric health that are important to me as a pediatrician and a neonatologist, such as vaccination. It's so, so important.
All right, awesome. Dr. Arnold, thanks so much for joining us this morning.